Saw that big sigh.
Thank you, sir.
It's almost like a sigh of relief. Absolutely no emotion, devoid of any emotion. It was very robotic, very mechanical, cold-hearted killer.
They think they can get away with murder, and they're so confident they won't be caught
About to anymore, so.
that they serve up lie after lie for the camera.
I mean, she was in a frail condition. I just can't understand why anyone would do this.
But all it takes is a mistimed gesture, an odd expression or a poorly chosen word. And experts like Steve Van Aperen can spot their guilt a mile away.
What's their response? Are they defensive? Are they angry? Are they sidestepping the issue? Are there non-verbal cues indicative of frustration, annoyance, anger, and so on?
Steve is a body language expert. He's built a career spotting the fakes and the frauds. And tonight, he's letting us in on some of his secrets.
Steve, we're in the control room and we're going to show you some examples of murderers who cry crocodile tears to cover up their crimes.
Absolutely. And we're going to peel layer by layer by layer until they're exposed.
He's dead. He's dead. Freaking dead.
Mick Martin played up to the cameras, casting himself as the victim of a violent crime.
We would just love these people to be caught so we can move on with our life.
But he was convicted of killing his father with a samurai sword, then tying himself up to make it look like a home invasion.
All I can remember is hearing, the death of my father. It was just terrifying. I never expected that I'd see my wife or children again.
Now, right there, I heard my father die. Where's the emotion? Where's the hurt? Where's the feelings?
Yeah, this is his father.
His father, yeah.
He's been murdered.
I don't see remorse, I don't see empathy, I don't see concern, I don't see emotion. I see none of it.
Then there's Christy Abrams from Sydney. Now she put on a real show.
If anyone has seen her, can they please contact the police? I can't talk.
As it turns out, this seemingly heartbroken mum killed her 6-year-old daughter, Kayesha, and shoved her broken body in a suitcase.
How do you rate her emotion?
It's staged. It's like a method actor.
Yeah.
Think about something sad, which in this case, I believe probably the reason she's crying is because of what she's done and the ramifications of what she's done. And she's drawing on that to produce those tears.
John Sharp played up to the cameras as well.
I haven't harmed my wife or my daughter. I haven't harmed either of them.
In reality, the man dubbed the Mornington Monster killed his wife and young daughter with a spear gun.
And there's not one skerrick of moisture in those eyes, is there?
No, and we see that, over and over and over again. It's just not convincing. It doesn't look authentic. It doesn't look real, and there's not that emotion associated with absolute sorrow.
Jared Baden-Clay is another brutal wife killer.
I'm trying to look after my children at the moment. They've got 3 young girls, and we really trust that the police are doing everything they can to find my wife, and we just hope that she'll come home soon.
One of the things that concerns me, he says, I'm trying to look after my children. What I'd expect him to say is, I'm trying to look after our children.
How do you spot a lie?
So we look at 3 categories in particular, and that is verbal. I can lie with words, but often my body language is much more overt. So I focus so much on the delivery of the content and structure of the story that I often pay very little attention to what my body language is doing. So I need to look for conflict or contradiction between what a person is saying and what their body language is in fact stating. Secondly, I need to look at how that message is delivered, and that's what we call paralinguistics. And that could be tone, pitch, voice modulation, response latencies, ums and ahs, superfluous fillers, and so on. And thirdly, I look for, does the person include themselves in the narrative of their explanation, or do they exclude themselves? I look for, whether or not a deceptive person is taking ownership or creating distance, disassociation and separation.